There are new developments in the decades-old Menendez brothers case tonight. The Los Angeles County District Attorney has officially recommended they be resentenced.
We're very sure not only that the brothers have rehabilitated and that they will be safe to be reintegrated in our society, but that they have paid their dues, not only for the crimes that they committed, but because of all the other things they have done to improve the life of so many others.
George Gascon says the new evidence in the case merits a review of their life sentences. The Menendez brothers were convicted in the deaths of their parents more than 35 years ago. They fatally shot Jose and Kitty Menendez in their Beverly Hills mansion back in 1989. Well, journalist Steve Futterman has been following this case for us for several weeks now. He joins us once again from Los Angeles. So, Steve, take us through what this recommendation means.
Well, basically, it is a recommendation. As you said, it will not be Gascon's decision whether or not the Menendez brothers get resentenced. It will be a judge right across the street from me at the criminal courts building who will make that decision. But it certainly looks like it's moving in that direction. Gascon gave a number of reasons for his recommendation. Essentially, what they're going to be doing is changing the sentence. This is what he wants, a change in the sentence from life in prison without the possibility of parole to 50 years to life with the possibility of parole, and with the 34 years plus behind bars that the Menendez brothers have already served, that would make them eligible for parole. So eventually, it seems likely a parole board will make that final decision should the Menendez brothers be set free. So today, Gascon made what had been anticipated would be his decision. Let's take a little more listen to what he had to say.
This case will be filed in court tomorrow. The final decision will be made by the judge. Court has to agree with my conclusion that they deserve to be resentenced.
So that's what's going to take place tomorrow. It'll be a paper filing. We don't expect anyone to be in court tomorrow, but that will start the process to get a hearing before the judge. Now, there could be people who oppose it, and in fact, we do think there'll be some people who oppose the release, including some members of the Menendez family. But we do think we're on a track which, more likely than not, based on the way the public opinion polls have it and the way it just seems the district attorney's office is posing this case right now, is very likely to lead to the brothers to be released, maybe not by the end of this year, but certainly in the next 12 months.
Well, that would be something if that happened. And, there's so much publicity around this case now, as we have talked about before on the show, because of the Netflix documentary, the series as well. Steve, where do things go from here?
Well, again, we'll probably have a hearing in the next month or so before that judge. And Travis, one of the key issues is going to be what the brothers claim was a repeated sexual abuse by their father, Jose Menendez. Erik Menendez said he was repeatedly abused by his father. Lyle Menendez says that's what he suffered as well. That is what they've always claimed was the reason that they were that they took part in this act to kill their parents. Now, some relatives today were at the courthouse, and we've been hearing from some of the relatives. Let's listen to one relative of the Menendez brothers who last week or the last couple of weeks said she feels they should be either resentenced or released.
If Lyle and Erik's case were heard today, with the understanding we now have about abuse and PTSD, there is no doubt in my mind that their sentencing would have been very different. And yet, despite their circumstances, they have chosen a life of light. Without hope of release, they persevered. They have sought to better themselves and serve as a support and inspiration for survivors all over the world. Their continued incarceration serves no rehabilitative purpose.
And in the end, this is quite a change. I mean, I was at the trial in the 1990s where they were sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. If you told people at that time we'd be here around 30 years later and we would be talking about a very strong possibility of release, I think most people would be surprised. But the views of abuse, the views of men being abused by their father. Things have just changed in society. And again, some new evidence has also been presented suggesting that Jose Menendez may have abused a member of the boy band group Menudo a number of years ago. And all this is coming together to make the DA make this recommendation. Again, tomorrow he says he'll make the formal application with the court, and then we'll go from there.
And I know that you will be on top of all of it. Steve Futterman in Los Angeles, thanks. We'll check in with you again tomorrow.